My mom opened several accounts in my name and tanked my credit score. Now I'm $30,000 in debt and she says I owe her this for raising me and should not report it. This all started about a year ago when I was about to graduate from college. I received a bill in the mail for a credit card that I knew wasn't mine. I've always paid my one credit card on time, and it was from a different company. My mom said she had added me to her credit card as an authorized user, which is why I received that bill. This ended up being red flag number 1. Fast forward to about a month ago, and I was looking into new apartments as I was moving for my job. I found one I liked and applied for it, not thinking anything of it since my salary was well over their minimum requirements. I received an email saying my application was denied. A few days later, I got a letter in the mail explaining it was due to my credit. I figured it had to be a mistake, so I ended up checking my credit score for myself. This was, I think, the first time I had done it since I got my credit card a few years ago. I was floored when I saw my score, 490, and I had several accounts in collections. After some crying, I decided to call the electric company, which one of the collection accounts was for, and they confirmed the address was my mom's current address. I got in touch with one of the credit card companies I saw, and the listed address was the same. I really didn't want to believe my mom had opened these accounts, so I called her about them last week. My mom claimed to have no idea about the accounts and said I probably got hacked. She had never really done anything to betray my trust in the past, so I foolishly believed her at the time. One of my friends said I should report it to the police, otherwise, I could end up owing tens of thousands of dollars. I made a police report and gave them all the information. I called my mom and told her about the police report, and she said I needed to call and cancel it because it wouldn't do any good. She tried saying it was just wasting their time, and I should call it off and just ignore it. Of course, I told her I couldn't do that because I didn't want to be on the hook for what ended up being around $30,000. She said I had to do it because she opened the accounts. We went back and forth for about 20 minutes, and I was pissed. She finally said I just needed to take the hit on this one and declare bankruptcy. She literally told me I should be grateful to her for letting me go to college, so I should cancel the police report before they find out it was her. Between scholarships, grants, and a small amount of student loan debt, she didn't pay for anything at all. I'm kind of conflicted. I don't really want my mom to go to jail, but from what I've read, declaring bankruptcy would basically prevent me from doing anything with my credit for a few years, and it would take a full decade to drop off. There are 9 accounts total, with 3 in collections. What would you guys do? Update 1. It's been several weeks since I posted, but things are starting to get better for me with my credit, though my family isn't happy with it. I didn't cancel the police report, as I wasn't going to take the hit on $30,000 in debt that wasn't mine. My mom and I have always gotten along all right growing up and even through college when I'd come back home for the summers. I didn't hear anything back from the police after the initial report, other than a call from an investigator a couple of days afterward. He didn't really give me too much other information. I disputed all of the accounts with the credit agencies, and a couple of the accounts are already gone with the police report number. On Monday, my sister called me and told me mom had been arrested. Apparently, she was on her way to work when she got pulled over, and the cop immediately addressed her by name. She was told she had a warrant and was arrested on the spot. She spent Monday night in jail and saw a judge yesterday, 4 counts of felony identity theft. The actual name for it is something else in legalese. At this point, the police still hadn't contacted me. She ended up getting released on recognizance, as she has never been arrested in her life and her only ticket was for expired tags 20 years ago. She hasn't called, but I've received calls from both of my sisters, my uncle, and my grandfather. The calls ranged from telling me I should drop the charges to one of my sisters absolutely screaming her head off at me. I ended up calling the police yesterday and speaking with a different investigator about the situation. He said it looked like the warrant came out a couple of weeks ago and an officer probably ran her plate and the warrant was connected, leading to the traffic stop. He said it looked like everything had been turned over to the prosecutor's office, and for more information, I'd need to speak with them. I tried calling my mom and there was no answer. I tried texting, and the same thing, even though it shows red. I'm unfortunately still conflicted about sending my mom to jail. She's been there for a night already, and from what I was told, she didn't take it well. The prosecutor's office isn't open today, but I'll be calling tomorrow. Any advice or suggestions would be greatly appreciated. Also, I forgot to add, but I was able to find an apartment for my new job, which I start in a couple of weeks. The fact that I made the report made the apartment application process work out. Commenter. Do not contact your mother, and make sure you document and report every attempt she makes to contact you, either directly or through another person. You should be able to justify a restraining order against her, and it will serve notice to all parties of the seriousness of her crime. It sucks to feel like you're the one responsible for what happened to your mom, but you're not responsible. She is supposed to be your protector, and instead, she took advantage of you for her own gain. None of what's happening is your fault. She made this mess, and now she has to clean it up. If you back down, if you try to save your mom from this, you will screw yourself over 10 times worse than you are now. You will lose all credibility with the legal system, end up getting stuck with the debt she racked up, and may even get yourself sent to prison instead of her. And your idiot family members will still see you as the bad guy. You have allies that know the truth. It's time to lean on them to help you stay strong and work toward getting your life in order. Anyone who knows what your mom did and is still supporting her is someone you need to cut out of your life. Fortunately, they are making themselves obvious, so they're easy to avoid.